Hi guys, welcome to SD Traveler, and today I am finally going to be doing the video that you have all been waiting for, my Iceland video. I know, it's been forever, and I apologize, that is 100% my fault. Life in 2020 has been insane. I have not been able to get really like an actual break. I look like a hot mess all the time now. I look like I haven't really slept, and it kind of feels like sometimes I haven't really slept, but everything in the end will be worth it. So I apologize for not being able to bring this to you sooner. There are a lot of things that I have learned, and there are a lot of changes that I have to make, and I am in the process of that. But today is all about finally giving you, the audience, what you have been waiting for. Now, I don't know if any of this is going to help you guys. I don't know if any of you are really interested, to be quite honest and upfront. But I am hoping that someone out there will find these videos helpful. Somebody's got to. There's always somebody out there that's listening. So today we are going to be trying the podcast version. It seems that doing video and then sound is not really working for me. Doing music type videos I really enjoy that, but I don't really think that I enjoy the other side. So I'd much rather do this version for now. I feel like this will be more helpful for me, and maybe it'll give you guys a little bit something extra. So without further ado, here is my very first information video on Iceland. This very first video is just going to be about lessons. And some of these are kind of weird to be talking about, but I feel like it'll be helpful for some of you out there. And I know that there are all kinds of travelers, young, old, new. There are the people that never have a cell phone, the people that don't travel with laptops. There are those that travel with everything. There are the glampers. There are the people that just like literally look like they have not had a shower in weeks. In climbing terms, we call them dirt bags. But that's just the climbing world. And they are the people that literally like eat, breathe, sleep climbing. And I feel like that's pretty appropriate for most people that, eat, breathe, sleep, whatever it is that they love. And in terms of traveling, there is every kind of traveler out there. So for me personally, I am a sparse traveler, and I'm trying to make my way to making it to being a full-time traveler. That's really what I want out of life. I want to experience everything. I want to see everything. I want to touch it all. I want to basically be like on top of the world. I want to be on cloud 9 all the time, and that's what I feel like when I travel. Of course, there will be a time when I will eventually settle down, but I just haven't done that yet. So we're going to go over some things, some lessons, and hopefully these guys will help you when you make your way over to Iceland, or if you've been dreaming about it, or if maybe you're just one of those people that likes to learn things, then maybe this will give you some insight. So here's my first lesson. Lesson number 1. Credit cards. Good old-fashioned credit cards. We all love them. We all hate them. Can't get away from them. It's one of those things that unfortunately becomes a part of adulthood. You need credit cards, and yet you also don't want them. Credit cards are the best and the worst because you can literally get all kinds of debt on them, and you might not be able to pay it off in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5. Like, Jesus, like there is so much that happens. And then there's interest, and everything just gets thrown up in the air and you're scrambling. So I hate saying this. I absolutely do. But having different credit cards over there is going to help you. And the reason being is because Iceland is a very strange country. Iceland is one of those countries where not one credit card seems to work. In my 2-week experience, Discover is a backup card. Don't use Discover as a main card. Don't even think about it. Look at that Discover card, give it a nice little like, oh yeah, like maybe I'll give you a kiss, but like you're gonna put it to the side for a little while. You're probably gonna use it as a backup at best. Maybe when you go to lunch or brunch or you go to dinner, and you're in a city. That's the biggest thing. You have to be mostly in a city to use your Discover card. So you're going to need either a MasterCard or a Visa card. If you're Eglin, which there might be a few of you, Eglin seems to work 95% of the time. So if you're okay with having like a high exchange rate through Eglin, then I would use that as your main source of getting around. Or if you are old-fashioned, you can get money. You can do that too. I got some money and I didn't come back with very much of it at all. Their currency exchange rate is $100 equals to 10,000. So I was flabbergasted when I got the money back. It's not as cool as Canada's. Canada's is beautiful. But unfortunately, like you're probably going to run out within a couple of days. Like their money just literally like evaporates. So that was the biggest thing I learned. I think the biggest thing that's going to help some people out there is the credit card situation. The next thing, which is oh so fun, good old coffee. If you are a lover of that good old cup of joe in the morning, oh man, you're going to have a whirlwind in Iceland. I certainly did. Now, I rented a camper van and I traveled around, which I love it. I love doing it. It just makes me feel so at home. It makes me feel so happy inside. But their main way of like getting any source of joy, apparently, is tea, which is so weird. Tea's good. I like tea, but I only like tea when I feel sick and gross and disgusting. Or if I'm trying to get rid of a craving maybe, or when I want to sleep. That's really it. But you know, there are some people who don't like coffee, and that's okay. I don't know how you live, but I mean, it's cool. Coffee though, over there, if you are a lover and you're unfortunately like me and you get headaches when you don't have your coffee in the morning, you're gonna have fun, because I could not get coffee on a consistent basis at anywhere like in Iceland. Unfortunately at gas stations it's not really like a huge thing. It's like, okay, like you might find some, but good luck. Like it's like, you know, one of those things where it's at the end of the rainbow and you're just like, oh, like maybe the once in a blue moon you'll see it. So just kind of be aware of that. If you decide that you wanted to stay at a hotel, then you might have a better chance of getting coffee on a regular basis. And you have to kind of look for cafes in the cities to be able to get some, like go into like a place and sit down. And if you go into a cafe, it's really good coffee. But if you're just going to like a good old basically like restaurant-y, like grocery gas station, then it's gonna be magic bean water that you're probably gonna like soak a whole bunch of sugar in to be able to swallow that coffee. So from there, the next fun lesson that I learned was about Wi-Fi and getting any kind of internet connection at all. Again, anything that has to do with hotels or anything like that, you guys might not have this problem at all. But being in a camper van was like, I mean, it was literally like so sparse. And it wasn't good connection, really, like at all. Most places that I stayed at were like the more recommended ones, and I found that even the connection there was just kind of like a hit or a miss. So definitely keep that in mind. Like you're going to be using, if you have T-Mobile and you have your tethering, then you can use that, and that's better than using theirs. Like, and that says something. Like that says a lot. So if you're doing the camper van style, like all of these are definitely going to apply to you. So just kind of like write that down. Like if you need that to do your job, if you need that to be able to like keep up with stuff at home, like you're going to want to make sure that you have some way to get your own Wi-Fi connection. So the last big thing that I kind of realized, and luckily was not a problem for me, but might be for most people in the United States, believe it or not, is you can easily, and I mean like easily, save $1,000 or more if you drive a stick shift. I could literally feel some people's brains exploding. Like, oh my God. I'm not even kidding. Like, $1,000 or more. When I was looking at camper vans, it blew my mind, like, the difference in prices. They literally will eat your money. Like, they're like, oh, you can't drive stick? Like, you silly American. Like, all right, fork it up. Come on. Fork it up. And I was so fortunate to have been taught how to drive stick, and I love driving stick. I think automatic is boring. Like I don't understand it, but I don't understand it in terms of like the driving. Like if you drive all the time to go somewhere, I just think that stick is better. It lasts longer. There's just more, like there's just more for stick. Of course, that's a very like, that's a very me opinion, and not a lot of people are going to agree with it because unfortunately not a lot of people now know how to drive a stick. So a lot of you that are listening to this are probably going, oh, well, I just never had the opportunity or the chance. And well, I mean, if you decide you want to save that $1,000, you might want to find a stick and just kind of learn. Like, it will help you in the long run. Find a friend. Find a piece of crap vehicle. And, I mean, if you crash it, if you break out, like, the clutch, like, okay, well, at least you learned somehow, right? So honestly, like, their cars there are really nice. Their camper vans are awesome, and you can definitely feel it when you need to change gears. So if you're newer to that sort of stuff, it really should not be that big of a deal. You're going to be able to tell when you have to change gears. And I was pretty surprised. Like, the cars there are super nice. And I mean, I can't force you to do any of that. Obviously, I am just a voice on the screen. But these are some things that you should keep in mind when you're going over to any international country. Do they mostly drive stick, or are they automatic friendly? How much money are you going to save, or how much money are you going to spend? That's really what it all comes down to, is the money. Of course, if you're a billionaire or a trillionaire, like, okay, like, you probably don't care. But if you're not, and you have budgets and you have things that you like in your life and you have only a certain amount, well, there's a couple of things that you can always do to save a couple bucks. And this is just one of them. So that's really it for today's episode. I am sorry if I went a little over the top or anything like that. I'm sorry it's a little bit long. It has been a while. I got excited, so, jibber jabber. But I do appreciate y'all for listening, and thank you so, so very much for all of your support. I look forward to making the next one. Go and like anything and everything that I do. I have so much that happens, and there's so much stuff that I have. I'm trying to get rid of my art pieces right now. I have about 15 that are still for sale. So if anybody is interested, go to www.sdtraveler.com. Again, it's www.sdtraveler. Oh, I'm sorry. It's .org, not .com. I am in La La Land. So go check that out. There are plenty of pieces that are for sale. I'm sure somebody will fall in love with them and will buy them. All of your purchases will help me on my future travelers. I travel all over the place. I travel all the time, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I appreciate anybody who gives me the support. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys look forward to the next one. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great night. Bye.